Raising girls is the hardest thing in the world, and not because of the girls themselves, but because the messages that are given to little girls start so early and start attacking their self-worth in a way that boys just don't get. I do everything right with trying to build up my daughter's self-confidence, to make her know that she is beautiful and valuable. I never criticize my own body or her body or other women's bodies, and yet the body image stuff seeps in, and there's nothing I can do to control it. My daughter today said she liked her outfit because it made her look skinny. She's 8. And I was so taken aback by that because, number one, we don't talk like that in our house. Number two, I just thought if I did a good enough job as her mom, I could keep her from it for longer than this. But the reality is, it's everywhere. It's on TV, it's in movies, it's on fashion competition shows. And I just hate knowing that I have to raise her into this world that is going to strip so much of her self-confidence from her. An 8-year-old shouldn't worry about being skinny.
Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, single mothers who regret having destroyed their own marriage. Before we get started, drop us a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your support keeps us going. Let's get into it.
Oh my God, being a single mom sucks. It sucks so bad. It's hard. My daughter had her first field trip today, and it was just the most chaotic thing. I woke up to an email saying that I would not have water as soon as I got home from dropping them off. So that means I now have to shower and do all the things that I would have done post dropping them off to make sure that I'm clean. On top of, I got to go find lunch because I didn't have jelly. I forgot to change the baby's diaper this morning before I dropped him off at daycare. They did get fed. Everybody got there where they needed to go on time. It was fine. It was just like, do I need a man? No. Would I love a competent partner? Yeah, I would. Just someone to, I don't know, make sure bags are packed. And honestly, I think it's just like the young kid age. Like, I feel like it'll be a little bit easier once they get a little bit older and can, like, fend for themselves just a little bit. And then, like, I can be like, oh, well, natural consequences. You should have brought your water bottle. You know where it is. Can't do that quite yet. So, yeah. I gotta go drink another energy drink. Okay, bye.
Oh, hell no!
My baby woke up throwing up, and in those moments, I'm like, being a single mom is really hard. And it's like, I really am on my own here. Like, you don't have someone to look over and be like, what do we do? It's like, it's just you. And in those moments, that's when I'm like, this is really hard. And he's totally fine now. He's perfect. He's showering. I'm like watching him right now. But that is something that hasn't happened yet. And so it was scary. And I didn't know what to do. It was like throwing up all over me. That's the struggle of being a single mom. And also when I'm in the car and he is screaming bloody murder in the backseat, and I'm like, I should be back there with him. Like, I should be sitting back there with him to console him. And I can't do that because who's going to drive the car? And when I'm lifting his heavy ass stroller into the back of my car while he's like screaming in the back seat as I put him in the car, it's like, these are the moments when I'm like, fuck, being a single mom is really hard. So if you are experiencing any of these, you are not alone.
Women who should have stayed with their husbands. Women are always saying that being a single mother is the hardest thing in the world, but you could have stayed with your husband. You could have kept things going with your husband. Why do men avoid single mothers? Because the man who steps into that situation gains nothing and gives everything. You don't get his time, you don't get his attention. He walks in trying to love a child that isn't his, a child who might reject him. And on top of that, you've got the kid's father lurking around, showing up unannounced, sending messages, always in the picture. No sane man wants to live like that. It's a dynamic men stay away from.
What's up, ladies? I want to share the story with you girls before I go inside there and work, and I do a lot of that, and I'd rather do that and pay my own mortgage and pay my own car and take my own trips and do my own vacations instead of, finding some man when I go home tonight, laying on the couch. The house is a mess. He didn't do dishes. He didn't do any laundry, and he's laying there and he says to me, what's for dinner tonight, Oh, can you imagine the nerve of these men? They're so cute, you girls. Anyway, with that said, you girls, my daughter sends me a text message and she says, Mom, you're going to be really excited. They approved all my papers. paperwork to come into your hospital. That's right, my daughter's volunteering. She's going to be shadowing because she's going to be a part of this team one day. You're looking at a future anesthesiologist. Let's get it, baby. I'm so proud of her, and I couldn't even imagine that this day would come, because I remember when my ex and I got divorced and he decided to walk away and take the coward road, because that's exactly what he is. She was only 8 years old, and here's my baby. She's 17 now. And yes, it was hard, you girls. It wasn't easy. I had to keep 2 jobs. I had to work constantly. I worked sometimes 7 days a week to buy my children the home that their father decided to take away from them, and buy a car again and all that other stuff, and put my daughter through private school. It cost me 90 grand. But I did it because my education is what allowed me to actually do this for my children, put my son through trade school and so on and so forth, you girls, And I said to myself, I can't believe that the storm passed, that hard times that felt like they were never going to end, they actually are starting to come to an end. And all that work that I put into my children, is starting to actually show, So I'm giving you girls that hope that, yes, you're going to go through these hard times in life, and they're going to be rough, and you're going to feel like giving up. But remember, there's an end result, and that end result is that you won't have to, deal with a man that is going to pay for some of your bills, but hold it over your head and make you feel like you're no one in life, that you need him for survival. You girls out there, don't ever put yourself in that survival mode. You can do it. Listen to my stories, you girls. If I did it, you can do it too. So get up, go to college, get yourself a degree, invest in yourselves, and forget about these men. Do it for yourself, do it for your children, and do it for the ones that want to see you fail. Let's get it.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
All of this sounds great until you scratch the surface. Nurse, one of the 3 careers with the highest rates of female infidelity in the United States. A fact she conveniently leaves out when she calls her ex a coward. Because here's the question nobody asks her. Why did he leave? She calls him a coward, says he took the house, that he abandoned them. But when a man walks away with everything legally in a divorce, that doesn't happen out of nowhere. Either the system ruled in his favor, or he hates her so much he'd rather lose money than leave her with anything. Neither option makes her look good. But of course, it's all his fault, and she's just the victim.
Divorced single moms, this is for you. If you're not a divorced single mom, 1000% keep scrolling. So that was traumatizing years ago. I had small kids. It's been 6 years now. That was the most traumatizing experience of my entire life. I was married for 12 years by the time we got divorced, and to my high school sweetheart, and he's now remarried. I'm choosing to stay single. I'm not dating. My life's peaceful. Everything's going smooth pretty much in my life, but we're still human. Even though I got through the most traumatizing experience in my life and it's bright on the other side, doesn't mean that I'm not going to face adversity or hardships or other things in life that are also going to be very hard. My problem is I feel like when I was going through my divorce, I needed my people so bad. I remember needing them so much during that time. They carried me. But now, whenever I am dealing with hard issues, I feel like I can't reach out to them. Like my people, like my mom, my friends, my core group of people who walked through that traumatizing time with me. I feel like I've done maxed out. That now any issues that I face, I'm pretty sure all they're going to say is, don't you remember what you've gone through? I need a hug, but I know that they're not going to want to walk through any other hard things with me again because they were also traumatized. When you're alone at night and you don't have anybody and you're not in a relationship and it's quiet and the kids are at their dad's house, those are quiet times where your mind just ruminates about things that you're worried about, and you don't want to reach out to your people. They done served their time. And I know I always have the Lord in my corner. There's just something about that human connection and having somebody walk through hard things with you. And what are y'all doing? How are y'all getting the hugs and that it's going to be okay? And don't say get a boyfriend. And just remember that you're going to be okay and you're not alone.
Go find yourself a single dad. One of the perks of being a divorced single mother is that you can always play the men are to blame card in the poor me routine. It doesn't matter how bad she actually was. People will believe she's the victim. She even notices it herself. She's already milked her story for everything it's worth and feels like she can't squeeze any more out of it.
Women.
Hey everyone, how are we all? I did manage to get dressed today. I wanted to go and get the photos printed out that I took of the 4 girls over Christmas. While I was out, I bumped into the babies with their dad, and Fia was telling me that she was going to his partner's daughter, it was her name, she was going to her house. And I was a wee bit taken back, but I was also a wee bit vexed. I was like, I really done them wrong, you know. I really didn't make good choices, and I really didn't give them what I thought I was giving them. And that just hurts, you know. For me to already have had that happen with the older girls, to have it then happen again with the babies, it really just hurts me. And I don't care that he's moved on. I don't care that he has a partner. That's not what this is about. It's about the kids having a new normal. You know, if this girl and her daughter's going to be a part of their lives, that's something different for them. You know, they don't have the family that I thought they were going to have, and I beat myself up over that a lot. I really do, you know. And I can't change it. And I suppose in a way I say to myself, well, you wouldn't want to change it, because if you did, you wouldn't have them. And that's so true, you know. I love them wholeheartedly. They are my world, you know, but I just think, how did I get it so wrong? How did I let everyone down? Not just the babies, but the older girls, you know. I finally thought that I had got the family that everyone deserved. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work.
Don't be selfish. Your kids are better off without you crying on camera. It hurts because you know you had multiple chances in life and you blew every single one of them. This woman claims she had no family growing up, most likely the daughter of a single mother herself. There are studies showing that women raised by single mothers have a significantly higher likelihood of repeating that same pattern. This woman clearly destroyed her marriage with the father of her older daughters, and now she's done the same with the father of her baby boys. She feels jealousy. She feels guilt, because deep down she knows she had a good man, and she was the one who destroyed that relationship.
And that's just something that really hurts me, you know, whenever I think of all the kids, because obviously my ex-partner was a big part of my older girls' lives as well. And I don't know, it's just hard to describe that feeling, you know, when you know that they're going now to another woman's house, and this woman's going to be a part of their lives, and that's not something that I had foreseen, you know. I really wish things could have been different, you know, but for me to be a better mum and a better person, they couldn't have been, you know. I needed to be on my own with them. But things like this still hurt, you know, and I still look at them and just wish I could just say sorry. Sorry that I got it so wrong, and sorry that it didn't work out, and sorry now that you now have other challenges, you know, to face, because I don't know how they're going to be with this new girl, or how she's going to be with them. You know, in my eyes, she's a stranger, and she's with my kids. Obviously, she's not a stranger to their dad, but in some ways, she's still a stranger to the kids if they don't really know her name, you know. So I've just had a really crappy day. I've avoided coming home because I just wanted to run from the feelings that I was feeling. But the babies will be home tomorrow, and honestly, I just can't wait to get them back. You know, it's really hard. It's really hard when they go. And yes, sometimes it's nice just to recharge and reset and get ready for them coming home. And sometimes things like this happen and you just think, I don't know, it's just hard.
What bothers you isn't that she's a stranger. What hurts is that it's being rubbed in your face that you are the problem. It's made crystal clear that your kids go to their fathers because they see stability there, a woman who loves him, who takes care of him and them, a family that actually enjoys being together, while you sit there drowning in jealousy, recording a video. It's like those women who go around telling everyone their ex-husband was an abuser, the villain of the story, and that man, once she lets him go, builds a happy life with another woman, another family. Even his own kids would rather be with their dad. That's a gut punch for a single mother, because she sees that everyone around her is happier the moment she's taken out of the equation. Because you are the problem.
So I get asked this a lot, and was it hard trying to date or find somebody as a single mother with multiple children? And the short answer to that is no. Like, it was not hard trying to date at all once I became a single mother. And don't get me wrong, once I became a single mother, I was honestly very scared, very nervous, because I'm like, damn, I was in a relationship for a long time and I have multiple kids. How is it gonna be for me? Like, are people gonna be interested? Are people gonna be like, ew, no, fuck no, like, that's too much? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was nervous, I was scared, I'm not gonna lie. But once I realized that men really don't give a fuck, it changed my mindset. I realized, like, men really don't care. So I was like, you know what, like, this is not too bad. And I feel like it was easier because I have social media, and my man already knew I had kids. He seen that I had kids. He seen I had multiple kids. He seen, like, what I came with. Like, I was a full package. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he still decided to pursue me. He still decided to initiate everything. Still wanted to be with me. Still, like, but I think it's dependent on the man. And I feel like my man, he wants a big family. He wants the home, the house filled with kids and a family, and he wants all of that. And the only thing he needed me to be open to was possibly having more children. And I was absolutely open to that. I was like, yes, like, people look at me, they be like, you got 3 kids, that's crazy. And for some, that's a lot, and that's totally understandable. My thing is, like, everybody is different. I came from a small family. I want a big family. I want a couple kids, and I probably can honestly have like 1 or 2 more. And people think I'm crazy for that, but me and my man could afford it. Like, comfortably, we would be comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I think it's everybody's different. It may not be your cup of tea. You might think like, this bitch is crazy, but as long as I'm happy and content and I'm able to do it, that's all that matters. And that was the only thing my man wanted me to be open to, like, the possibility of having more children, because he wants some kids and more kids. And I was open to that, like, absolutely. And the thing is, like, I feel like when you have somebody that's a full-blown provider for you and is willing to give you everything and do whatever you need from them, it's like, why would I not do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I not give somebody this? And people think, oh, like, oh, you're gonna have multiple baby daddies. So what? Honestly, like, so what? You supposed to stay with one person and be unhappy just because you're trying to have multiple kids by the same person? Like, no. That means I'm gonna have multiple baby daddies. Guess what? I'll have multiple baby daddies. But long story short, and the shortest answer, no. It don't matter if you got some kids. Somebody gonna find your ass, somebody gonna lock you down, and somebody gonna take care of you and be with you and love you no matter what, kids or not. So fear not. Be in these streets and find you a good man, because it's possible even with multiple children. Okay?
Hell to the no, no. Hell no.
Look, honestly, there's a man out there for everything. That's just reality. But getting involved with a woman who has 3 kids would be insane for me. I'm not saying anything against single dads, or against a man who meets a woman with 1 kid and she's willing, in the first year of the relationship, to have a child with him. That's not so bad. But if she's not giving you kids and she's showing up with 3 children from different men, that's not for me. I'm not taking on that load. No man has to take responsibility for another man's mistakes.
So, I recently was pulled aside by a couple of managers at my job. And I'm still so, like, in shock by the conversation that happened. So I was a couple minutes late and others were much more later than I was. They weren't pulled aside. Then these two managers that are women began to tell me that, because I told them, I had some, some prior tardies were due to, I didn't have childcare, and I wasn't supposed to be scheduled at the time I was scheduled. We had an, agreement, me and my manager that was on vacation. Anyways, they told me that that is favoritism. I said, oh, okay. And that my child is not a priority, and they couldn't begin to empathize with me because they are not single mothers or mothers. And then they said, oh, and you're single, so that must be much more difficult, I'm assuming. Yeah, it is. Because when your kid is sick, or when you don't have daycare, or you can't afford it, or you're not giving advance notice about a schedule change, yeah, it makes it difficult. It makes it difficult because your kid solely provides on you. Yeah, so I guess you can't empathize with me. You don't understand. We wouldn't be able to unless you yourself were a mom. Because people at my job will leave because they have to go give medication to their dog. But God forbid it be my kid get bit by a scorpion, and you're wondering why I'm leaving? Because she's at the hospital? Okay. I got you.
This is the only video in the series where her point actually holds some truth. Her female bosses treat her worse than someone stepping out to take their dog to the vet. That's real, and it's happening more and more. But you have to look at the full picture. Who are these bosses? Women who chose career over family, who have no children, who've spent years making decisions from that reality. They have no empathy for motherhood because they never lived it. And in many cases, they unconsciously resent it. And there's the irony. Feminism sold this woman the idea that she didn't need the father of her child. And now the women who followed that same message most faithfully are the ones who have the least compassion for her. She left the man, lost the support system, and ended up alone fighting against a system that doesn't protect her either. That's not bad luck. That's the logical result of dismantling the structure that held her up before there was anything else ready to replace it. We've reached the end, but before we close out, we're leaving you 2 questions for the comments. Do you think a woman who was a bad wife can actually be a good partner for another man? Or does the pattern just repeat itself? At what point did you stop seeing single mothers as victims and start asking questions about their story? And if this content gave you something to think about, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Every bit of support helps us reach more people and keep bringing you this kind of analysis. See you in the next video of The Wall.